Have you ever come home from a trip and wondered why you keep traveling? Or maybe you visited beautiful places, seen the sights, taken the photos, and still felt like something was missing. If any of that sounds familiar, I think you are going to feel right at home here. Because sometimes I find myself wondering, is this something that happens as we get older, or it is simply what happens after we travel long enough? I honestly don't know, but somewhere along the way, what mattered for me began to change. In my first video, I shared why I started Wrinkles Without Borders. Today, I want to tell you a little more about how I travel. For many years, I traveled the way most of us do. I visited famous sites, followed guidebooks, and tried to see as much as possible. Over the years, that curiosity took me to more than 60 countries on all 7 continents, and I really enjoy it. But after a while, something changed. The famous landmarks started fading into the background, and I realized that best memories were not the landmarks themselves. They were the conversations, the invitations into people's homes, the meals shared around kitchen tables, and the stories people trust me with. I started to realize I was learning more about the world from a single conversation with a local than I ever could from a guidebook. So little by little, my goal shifted. I stopped focusing on how many places I could see, and I started focusing on how deeply I could experience them. So today, when I travel, I look for the everyday rhythm of local life. Sometimes that means staying with local hosts, sometimes it also means volunteering, and sometimes it simply means slowing down long enough to listen and be present. Because for me, travel is no longer about collecting destinations. It's about understanding the world through the people who live in it. As every time someone welcomes me into their life, even for a few hours, I live with a little more perspective, a little more understanding, and often a new friend. And this is the kind of travel I will be sharing on this channel. Not just places, but people. Not just where I go, but what I learn along the way. And if that sounds like the kind of journey you will enjoy, I would like to have you along. And in the next video, I will show you what this actually looks like in practice and why I often start with a one-way ticket. See you there.